I was just sent this corrupted footage from Japan, and what happens to these 5 boys is absolute nightmare fuel. The footage follows a group of 5 vloggers: Xiao Huang, Xiao Lu, Xiao Zi, Xiao Hong, and Xiao Lan. But their names are a bit hard to keep track of in English, so for this story, I'm just going to call them Tyler, Josh, Zach, Liam, and Ben. Their channel was basically flopping, and they needed a viral banger. So they hiked deep into the Japanese mountains to investigate the urban legend of the doll village. They say if your phone battery drops to 4% while you're in the woods there, a cursed video forces itself onto your screen, and you never leave. They thought it was peak clickbait. They were so confident. But looking at this footage, they were already cooked. The video shows them walking deep into the forest. Tyler was up front and accidentally dropped half his sandwich on the ground. They didn't know it then, but that was their first major mistake. A few minutes later, the camera catches all their phones instantly losing signal. 0 bars. They stumble into a cluster of abandoned houses. There's smoke coming from a bonfire, but it's dead silent. Not a single bird, not a single person. Then, Josh spots a guy standing near the trees, leaning on a crutch. The footage shakes as Josh runs up to him, asking for directions, but the guy doesn't move. He doesn't even breathe. When Josh touches him, you can see the sheer panic on his face. It wasn't a human. It was a life-sized, incredibly realistic doll, and pinned to its chest was a creepy piece of fabric with the number 76 written on it. Before they can even process that, the camera pans around. Standing in the bushes is this hunched-over old lady, but she isn't normal. She's staring at them, literally drooling like they are a 5-course meal. Ben, the cameraman, tries to talk to her, but she opens her mouth and lets out this ear-piercing, blood-curdling scream. It sounds exactly like a pig getting slaughtered. The audio distorts as the boys absolutely lose their minds and scatter. They run deep into the woods, completely breaking formation. When the camera finally steadies, Tyler is missing. Zach runs back to look for him, but the footage cuts to him finding Tyler's personal camera lying in the dirt. When Zach picks it up, his hands are instantly covered in thick, fresh blood. Tyler is just gone. The group completely falls apart. Josh snaps and runs off on his own. Zach chases after him but loses him in the trees. Instead, Zach's body cam shows something that will actually break your brain. Hanging from a tree is a doll wearing Tyler's exact jacket. Pinned to it is the number 98 and a note that just says, "Save me." Before Zach can react, a shower of heavy stones starts raining down on him from the shadows, violently smashing into his head. Meanwhile, the footage cuts to Josh running for his life. He looks down and sees the half-eaten sandwich Tyler dropped earlier. He thinks he found the exit, but when he looks up, a creepy female doll is standing in his path. He blinks, and it's closer. He turns around, and it's there. It is literally following him. When Josh and Zach finally stumble back to Liam and Ben, they are completely different. Zach is bleeding heavily from his head, totally unhinged, whispering crazy nonsense about how stones taste better than eggplants. Josh just looks dead inside. He looks directly into the lens and whispers, "There is no exit. This village only has an entrance." Suddenly, the woods light up. The footage gets super shaky. The old lady and a group of deformed villagers carrying lanterns are coming straight for them. They grab Josh and drag him screaming into the darkness. It's just Liam and Ben left. The camera shows them running until they're gasping for air, following these weird wooden signs until they find a modern building. The Charm Museum. They think it's a safe house. They are so wrong. They break inside. The room is pitch black. Ben switches the camera to night vision, and my heart literally stopped watching this. Standing in the middle of the room are 2 dolls. One is wearing Zach's clothes. The other is wearing Tyler's. The village was already preparing for them. They were turning real humans into dolls. Footsteps echo in the hallway. Ben shoves himself and the camera into a dark closet, recording through the crack in the door. The old lady and these cultists in white robes drag Josh into the room. They tie him up in the center of a massive red circle painted on the floor. Liam tries to run, but they drag him out too and knock him completely unconscious. The footage captures the entire ritual. In minutes, the boys aren't human anymore. They are just stuffing and fabric. When the cultists leave, Ben bursts out of the closet. The camera shakes violently as he runs for the main door. Freedom is right there. He reaches for the handle. But the old lady's face suddenly appears in the glass panel. The camera drops to the floor. The audio cuts out. That's the end of the footage. A year later, another group of vloggers found Ben's camera and watched this exact footage. They didn't make it out either. But here is the most terrifying part. This village isn't just a creepypasta. It exists in real life. It's called Nagoro, located deep in the mountains of Japan. A woman named Ayano Tsukimi actually makes these life-size dolls to supposedly replace the villagers who die or move away. There are over 300 dolls there now, and only 20 living people. But after watching this footage, you have to ask yourself, are they really just made of fabric?